Stokes here, CEO over at Amplifier in Austin. So great to have you, man.
Man, I appreciate being here.
Absolutely. We're happy to get you in here on the live stream. And so tell us a little bit about, I guess maybe for people that aren't familiar, haven't seen you riding around on your skateboard on LinkedIn, what is Amplifier?
So Amplifier is a third-party e-commerce logistics for brands.
Yes.
So there's a couple of us around in the world. And we are based in Austin, Texas. We've been around for 25 years.
Yeah.
And part of our ability to survive and thrive has been what I would call a technology-oriented approach. I mean, we don't say tech-enabled anymore, right? Because we're done with that phrase.
Too buzzy,
yeah. Like everybody's tech-enabled. I use a browser, so we're tech-enabled. But being able to deliver to brands the kind of customizations that they need, while that doesn't ruin our operational throughput, is where we live and what we try to do. And so our ideal clients are folks who aren't merely shipping widgets, although we're super happy to ship widgets because those are easy.
Yeah.
But for folks who are really trying to connect with their purchasers, their buyers through the fulfillment channel, so doing special things on the fly. That sort of approach has been why we do what we do. It's some people really like putting things in boxes. We like putting unexpected things in boxes from the brand side, not where they want it to happen, but the customer's unexpected.
Sure.
Nobody wants a wrong picked shipment, but we like putting the cool stuff that a brand wants us to put in it.
Yeah. So I'm curious on that front, right? Because obviously very focused on like the consumer experience at the end of the day, and how you can enable that for your customer, right? And your customer's customer, right? In that sense. I'm curious. You've been in business for 25 years, as you've said, right? So as we've kind of seen, the e-commerce world evolve, right? How has like the expectation from the experience level, how has that changed?
I would say that 10 or 15 years ago, every brand that came to us thought that they wanted to make every shipment interesting and special.
Yeah.
And have it shipped the next day and deliver it in the next day.
Of
right?
course.
Like that was sort of the. But then, what our observation is that brands, even at the low end of the market, folks who are just coming into the market, even they begin to recognize, like, actually, it's probably 1 out of 100 orders that really need something special, or maybe 1 out of 1,000.
Yeah.
I think part of what's happened is in the last 10 to 15 years, the virality as a thing has happened, and the concept of what it means to be viral. Every brand wants their package opening experience to be viral.
Yeah.
So 15 years ago, it was like, oh, that just happens. And now you're like, actually, you kind of have to pick the recipient for it to become viral.
Yeah.
And so there's much more interest in what we do, and also sobriety about like, oh, and now I need to figure out like who I need to pitch that softball to. Like, is it like, and be aware of like, oh, actually, for some reason, Johnny TikTok just bought something from my store. He didn't tell me he was going to do that. But like, now I need to do something about it.
I love Johnny TikTok. Good follow.
Yeah, that's right. He's the best.
Yeah. But I think that is really an interesting point, right? Because it's almost like, actually, I learned this term last year. I manifest from a friend. Manufactured serendipity, right? It's a little bit of that.
I love that. Yeah.
And I think that it's very interesting to see that, because it does become really important from a brand perspective, right? To be able to do that, but also make it feel like it is like natural a little bit.
True,
in a sense,
right?
Even though
that's
it isn't maybe so natural, right?
Well, it's maybe we want to say calculated. I think there's a difference between a brand being aware and a brand sort of setting up automation to sort of like call through. So I think at this point in 2026, we've all experienced what it means to get a thing and you're like, oh, I'm pretty sure this was a robot who decided I should get this, right? Like, the email says I'm special, but I don't think I actually am, right? So there's that kind of, and there's a lot of offering about like AI tools and automation to like, we're going to identify the key players. At the end of the day, often the brands already know exactly who's important to their brand.
Yeah.
And so the ability for a brand owner or a head of marketing to go, who's they're watching the orders anyway. Like they're interested. They already have their own filters like, oh, I want to see, and when they see something, to be able to not just be like, sit back and go, all my automated tools are going to run now, but to say, this human want to do something to that shipment. And so whatever you do, it's so that you are like, wait, this wasn't a robot. Like, this isn't AI slop.
Like,
this is actually
somebody took the time.
This is
to
actually
do
a
this.
real person, right? Who's interacting. Like, I think that's even more important. Again, it's not 1 out of 1,000, but but that 1,000th is important, right?
Yeah, definitely. And that's such an interesting point. And I'm curious, like, because we're here at Manifest, obviously, right? It's all about technology and the future and things like that. So as someone that is trying to enable that experience, right, that you're just talking about,
right?
How do you kind of find the balance? Because obviously you want to leverage technology to be, more efficient, more effective, right?
Right.
But at the same time, you're also talking about, okay, well, we need to balance that sort of human element too, right? To be able to make the consumer feel like, oh wow, like somebody actually did this for me.
Right.
So how do you approach some of these technologies for your operations, but also make sure that like I'm keeping that in mind and keeping the balance between like the AI and the tech versus the human side of things?
I appreciate that question. I think one way to think about it, the way I think about it, is the logistics in the third-party logistics industry. We already have a concept of exceptions management. Like that's not a new, like we already understand that logistics deals with atoms. Atoms have friction. Like they're going to be exceptions, and so the 3PLs who survived 25 years have learned to handle
tell
exceptions,
us the secret.
right? Like, and it's not. And anybody who's been around for that long knows actually the way you learn that is you fall down a bajillion times. You're like, oh, well, we didn't plan for that because that was an exception. So it's like over time you learn, like, you sort of get the catalog of exceptions and you build your workflows to deal with it. Because forget putting something special in a shipment. Like, order comes in, creates a shipment, we're doing our picking, and something happens in the path of that picking. Like, you have an exception, and some of the groups here call it like the hospital zone or whatever.
Sure,
it's so pejorative. We don't want this isn't sick. But when we have this idea, like, okay, that moves out of the flow, something happens to it, and then it comes back into the flow. Like, and the goal with all exception management is identify, deal with, put back into flow as fast as possible, because the client, they don't actually care that you had an exception. They're like, you told me that if it was in stock, it would ship. Right? And so there's you don't get a, like, like, we get 3 mulligans today, and so like, so part of our path has been, we already know how to handle exceptions. Doing a new thing is just actually a cool exception, right? And so I would say it's less about like what has changed in technology as a sort of, it's the conceptual tools, because I think the conceptual tools have always been there, but I do think that having a lot of the technology that's here, say at Manifest, allows you to handle those exceptions more elegantly. Very few people are doing it for coolness. They're mostly doing it to like not die. But that's our approach. I should mention at this point that like we actually have 2 patents on the on the path for. We have 2 patents on affecting an order, a shipment mid-flight from the brand perspective to add something relative to the customer to it. So there's both like one that's. It's crazy what you can patent. And 2, like shout out to the patent people. Like, man, you can do a lot of cool stuff. You let us do that? And the second thing is, because you might say, like, man, why are you saying like this is cool stuff, secret sauce? Like okay, like, do try. Like, it's hard. Like, it's work, and operations people don't want to do it. They're like, no. The answer to exceptions is shunt it. deal with it tomorrow, keep the flow. Like,
Yes.
we're doing 10,000 things here. Why are you bothering me about one?
Yeah.
Right? That one might make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. So love that, and love the patents too as well that you've created there. So I'm curious, like, here at Manifest, right, as someone that is actively probably looking for solutions, right, or ways to improve your operation, are there any companies or any like specific technologies that you're coming here to check out?
I am interested in the autonomous carts.
Okay.
I'm very interested in the automation that requires a low level of integration
Sure.
to begin. So we run a sophisticated tech stack, and I also appreciate, like, man, having an autonomous cart is going to have value, even if it's not plugged into that. We would plug it in, but still, like, I am less interested in the robotic technology that sort of comes with, we're going to come in and basically take over all of the systems of your warehouse, and I don't have anything against it. I'm just not as interested in that, right? So looking at that, I'm fascinated by these, the little ski-looking robots that like pick up a pallet and like move it around.
Oh, the Felix?
Yes.
Felix? Yeah.
That is so cool.
That is, I would say those are, I think, just like bonkers, I would say. Like, they're a little crazy. Would love to see them. I think they only work with like Euro pallets, though, is my understanding.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
I've got some Euro pallets. Like, we can make it work. Do I need to convert to Euro pallets?
Yeah. We can see you riding around on one of those, right?
I have, the first thing I thought was like, I wonder if I could stand on one of those like a skateboard.
Yeah. Can I skate that? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Will it skate? We should have a
new segment.
Whole segment.
Yeah. Will it skate? Yes.
Will it skate?
Love that. So love to hear the approach and what you're looking at here. And Macon is one of our founding members of the Warehouse Innovators community. So tell us a little bit about, maybe you could tell us like why you joined.
Why I joined? Well, like fundamentally, like I trust what you're doing. Like you as a person, right?
Yeah.
Like, and so I've watched you deliver. I've watched you deliver value for free.
Sure.
On LinkedIn and at your site. I mean, it's just you've already been giving your product away, and so it made me a believer.
Yeah.
And I want to see such a thing work.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's a feature or a bug. It may just be a fact
Yeah.
of the nature of the market of a 3PL e-commerce logistics company, like whatever all the buzzwords we want to describe our particular market, it is a fact that it is difficult to connect with peers, because maybe this is one of the features, one of the facts of the market is the market is so broad. It's broad from a like size of brand, so people shipping one thing a day to people shipping 10,000 things a day.
Sure.
It's broad that way. It's broad from people who are servicing like beauty to people who are servicing a generic sort of approach.
Right.
It's broad from like 1 to 5. Like, it's hard to know. We say things like, oh, on one day we say, oh, I got a lot of competitors. And another day we say like, no, I'm actually like niche in this market. And it's just hard to know whether you can trust a peer.
Right.
And because there are, in the same like any universe, like there are delightful and good people.
Yeah.
And then there are people here like, I don't want to do business with them, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's part of why we need such a thing, and I think part of the value that you're bringing, that I'm trusting you to bring, is that it is a safe environment to be us in that environment.
Sure.
I think that's the difficult part. Is like, is it really safe for me to be here? Like,
it's safe. Yeah.
It's very safe.
Yeah.
I feel very safe there. When I'm feeling worried, I log in and I just feel safe there.
Yeah. I'm not holding him hostage right now or anything, so he's good. But no, I think that's a great point, and I think what I've seen over the years, and part of the reason I decided to launch this thing is because I do find that the majority, right, of people they want to share with each other because a lot of people are going through the same problems, right? And they want to look up to somebody that like has been in business for 25 years and now this company has been in business for 4 years, but they're getting like to that next level and they want to say like, oh, well, what did you do when you got to like this volume, right? Or how did you handle this type of situation? And I think having that kind of safe space, I guess, as you said, to be able to talk to that and learn from each other at all different levels of the spectrum, as you mentioned, right? I think it's such a great thing. And I love to, talk to you all, obviously, and be able to share kind of some of the intel and intelligence too.
Yeah.
And,
as I've been in it for the
a week. Yes.
A week has been a week. Man, It feels like months. I
don't know if that's good or
not
bad.
because of you, because of me. It's not you, it's me.
Yeah.
I have gone from like, oh, let's see what happens here to like, oh, Kevin posted a thing. Like, let me go like see what he wrote about.
Yeah.
Like that's I've enjoyed that, and I appreciate that it's not just like, oh, you spit that right out to LinkedIn. It's like, no, like, you wrote that for me.
Yeah, okay. I came to you first. Yeah,
I appreciate
definitely.
that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So happy to have you in there as a founding member. Of course, that is the Warehouse Innovators community that we're talking about, and I'll be posting more information about that this week for the masses. Last week we did kind of like a soft early launch for founding members like Macon.
Right, yeah.
But really appreciate you coming by. And what would be your top piece of advice for people that are looking for technology in the 3PL space today?
I have been struck this year by the fact that whatever your WMS is, it doesn't have, for lack of a better term, the business knowledge that's happening in the rest of your business. And so a lot of the solutions here are, you've got your thing that creates shipments. It might even do rate shopping. It might even do some fancy stuff around inventory and shipments.
Yeah.
But you have business rules. You as the 3PL and your brands have business rules that need to inform what's happening in that. Mm-hmm. And a good WMS won't have a place for that because those are business rules. They're not moving atoms around rules, right? And so after you find a good warehouse management solution, finding another system, and people call them different things, but another system that lets you pick up data from other systems that you've got, or just other humans, and inject it into what's happening into your WMS. So for example, like, you might have some rules which say, we only ship to Dubuque, Iowa on Tuesdays. Yeah. Right? Like, that's just part of your brand, right?
Yeah. Sorry, Dubuque.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, but they're going to be great. Like, a WMS doesn't have that concept. A WMS has, hey, here's a shipment, let's do it, right? And there's the inventory, let's add to it. And frankly, you don't want to load those rules into your WMS. You want your WMS to be clean. Yeah. But you need a bunch of rules that will then allow for, well, don't send that order to create a shipment to your WMS until it's Tuesday for Dubuque, right? So whether that's an order management layer or an ERP or a warehouse, communication system, whatever it is, like that at the fundamental level, you probably do need some level above, outside, around your WMS to pick up your business rules to inform your WMS. Yeah. That's what I would say when you're walking around, especially if you're getting going and you're like, man, got WMS. Oh wait, there's other things I want to do here. Like, that's what you're looking for. Yeah. How does it all kind of work together, right, and maintain those rules over time? So great takeaway there for sure, and really appreciate you stopping by this morning, and always a pleasure to see you. If people want to connect with you, I would tell them to jump on LinkedIn, right? Yeah, go to LinkedIn, Macon Stokes, just MaconStokes. I'm on there. Macon like bacon, right? Exactly so. There we go. All right, great to see you, man. Thanks a lot. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into today's video here on our YouTube channel, the New Warehouse Podcast, and I appreciate you tuning in. If you liked what you saw, make sure you subscribe to our channel, and if you like this video in particular, make sure you like it as well. And if
if you want to get this great t-shirt that you see in the video behind me, Warehouses Are Sexy, head to warehousesaresexy.com and get your own.